Blake Lively is accusing Justin Baldoni of sexual harassment, but Megyn Kelly and a top Hollywood attorney are exposing every lie she's ever told.
I will happily participate in releasing any further leaks that they have because the truth should be out there. What does she have to fear if she's telling the truth?
But you can rest assured that based on the investigation we've done, the text messages we have, the receipts that'll go along with that complaint, she's dead in the water.
Shocking? You bet. Because if these revelations hold up, it's not just a case of she said, he said. It could be a textbook example of how far someone will go to hijack a movie and someone's life. Get comfy, because we're diving headfirst into the drama behind Blake's lawsuit, Justin's counterclaims, and the avalanche of evidence that's about to turn Tinseltown upside down.
And it's just disgusting when you go after someone, you try to destroy their life, and actually the evidence shows something different. Blake Lively was no victim here. She was in control. She was in power.
One of the biggest claims Blake Lively makes in her lawsuit is that Justin Baldoni violated her personal space, showing up uninvited while she was in her trailer pumping milk for her baby. The way she tells it, it sounds like a disgusting invasion of privacy. A vulnerable mother, exposed in the company of a man who had no business being there. But what if I told you that she was the one who invited him in? Because leaked text messages directly contradict her story. And if that wasn't enough, Justin's response makes it crystal clear that he wasn't exactly rushing to take her up on the offer. He literally told her he was having lunch with the crew and would come by later.
The one about, he burst in on me uninvited when I was breastfeeding my child. She says we should run lines together. He's like, anytime. And she's like, come on over. I'm breastfeeding the baby in the trailer, but come on over. So it's written there, black and white. She invited him in, and a lot of women are comfortable having someone around when they breastfeed, so it's not so weird, especially out in Hollywood.
Blake's next claim, that Justin's producing partner, a man with an actual business reason to be on set, showed her pornographic material. She paints the scene as if she was blindsided by something inappropriate and graphic. But here's what she conveniently left out. The so-called pornographic image was a still shot of a real childbirth, used as a reference for a scene in the movie. Because, when you're filming a birth, it kind of helps to make it look like an actual birth.
Because so often we see births in movies and TV, and they just look so fake. It's like a 3-month-old baby that comes out, and I just wanted it to feel very real.
So, let's get this straight. Hollywood has been faking birth scenes for decades, and when a filmmaker actually tries to get it right, suddenly it's inappropriate.
Justin's business partner, who is a producer of the film, and he showed her a still shot from his wife's delivery of their child, which I've also seen. You can't see any R-rated parts at all. It's actually a really lovely artistic photo of a husband with his arms around his wife in a bathtub and the baby on top of the wife.
Blake's next claim, that Justin fat-shamed her on set by asking about her weight. In her lawsuit, she makes it sound like he was fixated on her body after pregnancy, like some kind of shallow, image-obsessed director. But what she leaves out is that Justin has serious back problems. He was actually hospitalized for 2 months after filming. And the only reason he asked about her weight? Because he had to physically lift her in a scene and wanted to make sure he wouldn't injure himself or her. Because, nothing screams misogyny like not wanting to slip a disc. And if that wasn't enough, leaked text messages completely destroy Blake's fat-shaming narrative. Instead of criticizing her weight, Justin was actually reassuring her, telling her not to stress about it, and that they could shoot any scenes with exposure later in the production when she felt more comfortable.
The alleged fat shaming that Ryan Reynolds went off on him over was when he went to it was either his trainer or her trainer or the trainer on the set, and he asked how much Blake weighs. And that it was like, how dare he, right? How dare? Turns out Justin Baldoni, this has been documented, has serious disc issues and was actually in the hospital for 2 months after this film wrapped.
By now, we've seen the pattern. Blake doesn't just twist reality, she completely reinvents it. Every time a situation doesn't fit the narrative she wants, she rewrites the script. And speaking of scripts, let's talk about the slow dancing scene, one of the most damning accusations in her lawsuit. According to Blake, Justin Baldoni ignored the script, went off character, and turned what was supposed to be a professional moment into something disturbingly personal. She claims he leaned in, dragged his lips down her neck, and whispered something completely inappropriate. And what was this shocking, career-destroying phrase? "It smells good." Yes, that's it. That's the moment Blake is now presenting as some kind of predatory behavior. She argues that Justin wasn't even acting in that moment, that he wasn't playing his character, but was speaking to her as himself, that he ignored boundaries, overstepped, and made her deeply uncomfortable. Sounds terrible, right? Well, here's where she made a huge mistake. Because while the scene may not have required sound, the microphones were still rolling. And now that the raw footage has surfaced, we can finally see what really happened. And let's just say, it doesn't match Blake's version of events. Just watch for yourself and let us know in the comments below, what do you think?
I'm getting beard on you today.
I'm probably getting
It smells good.
Well, it's not bad. It's my body makeup.
At this point, Blake's allegations are falling apart one by one. The leaked texts, the raw footage, the contradictions, it's all crumbling. So, what's her next move after Justin starts defending himself? Because up until now, she's been in full control of the narrative. She had the carefully crafted New York Times article, the viral media spin. But the second Justin fights back, the second he brings out actual receipts to prove she's lying, suddenly, Blake decides that enough is enough. She's not interested in a fair fight. She's demanding a gag order, a legal restriction that would prevent Justin and his lawyers from releasing any more evidence against her. Because if there's one thing Blake can't afford, it's the full truth coming out. Because nothing screams, "I'm telling the truth," like desperately trying to stop the truth from coming out.
Now that she's had her shot against him and she's severely damaged him with that New York Times piece and this complaint, which she managed to get leaked, now she wants a complete gag order. Now he needs to be shut down to protect her. This is very unfair to poor Blake. Why should Justin be able to release snippets to the media without the full context? That's what she said. That's what she did.
At this point, it's not just about control. It's about erasing Justin Baldoni entirely. Because when it came time to premiere the very movie he helped create, Blake made sure that he wouldn't be anywhere near the spotlight. While Blake was posing for photographers and walking the red carpet, Justin Baldoni, the film's lead actor, director, and producer, was sent to the basement. Not just him, his friends, his family, the very people who worked on this film, all banished downstairs.
Think about this. On what, could have been one of the most beautiful nights of my life career-wise, I literally was sent to the basement with all my friends and family for over an hour because I wasn't allowed to be seen. She didn't want me anywhere near her or the rest of the cast. So they ushered me off the carpet and they sent us down to the basement.
Imagine working for years on a project, pouring your time, energy, and passion into making it happen, only to be physically removed from your own premiere like some kind of unwanted extra. But it gets worse. Justin hadn't even seen the final cut of the movie. So, just to be clear, Blake didn't just take over the film, she made sure the person who actually made it happen wouldn't even get to watch it.
And in August 5th of 2024, Justin invites the editors to the premiere, but they can't be in the same room with Blake. Justin replies, "We won't be in the same room. I was asked not to even come to the premiere." And the editors say, "It would be very hard for me to sit and watch the final film for the first time at the premiere." And Justin replies, "Okay, yeah, I haven't seen it either."
At this point, every new claim from Blake feels less like a serious accusation and more like a desperate attempt to keep control of the narrative. And her next move? She now claims that the movie set was so reckless and unprofessional that it didn't even have an intimacy coordinator. For those unfamiliar, an intimacy coordinator is basically a stunt coordinator, but for intimate scenes. Their job is to ensure that actors feel safe and comfortable while filming anything physically sensitive, like romantic or intimate moments. She paints a picture where Justin improvised physical intimacy without her consent, as if the entire production just decided to wing it. But here's where things fall apart, because in a past interview, Blake herself admitted they did have an intimacy coordinator.
So talk to me about how sometimes you were even the intimacy coordinator in some of those sexier scenes. Like we saw you.
That shouldn't be happening, by the way. I just want to be clear that you should not be the intimacy coordinator. You should definitely hire intimacy coordinators, which we did have, thank
You
goodness.
were teaching
So which is it, Blake? Did they not have one, or did they hire one? Because you can't have it both ways.
Honestly, there were many instances on set where I just let the women figure it out, and I took a step back and kind of jumped in more as an actor in those scenes than even as a director.
Yeah, sounds like a real predator, huh? A director who literally steps back and lets the actresses take the lead. So at this point, what are we really looking at? A serious case of misconduct? Or just another Hollywood power move gone wrong? From the text messages to the leaked footage, from the ever-changing claims to the desperate attempt to silence Justin, everything points to one thing. Blake Lively didn't just want to control the film, she wanted to control the entire narrative. But now, the truth is out, and it's your turn to decide. Do you think Blake's lawsuit still holds any weight? Or is this just another PR stunt gone too far? Let us know in the comments below. And if you think this story is wild, wait until you see what we're covering next. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it.